Hello, my name is Chris, and I am currently living at Triple Crown Apartments in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm not going to make everyone wait to find out what the purpose of this video is. Do not rent here. In fact, it would probably be a good idea to be suspicious of any place owned or managed by Monument Realty Services, LLC. Now, if you wish to stick around for this video, I will explain why I say that. We start here on my patio, which, as you can see, has quite a bit growing on it. I'm not sure if that's a tree or a plant, a bush, but it's growing, and it has been for quite some time. The management knows this. Following the line of the growing, there is a crack across the patio, quite a deep crack. The problem is right there. You see, the crack goes up the wall. This allows water to get in, not under the patio door as one might think, but under the wall itself, which has caused a great deal of mold to grow in that corner and in the second bedroom. Again, management is aware of this, but they have done nothing to fix it. And there is the occasional golf ball because we live next to a golf course. I'm surprised the patio door has not been broken by an errant golf ball by now. But that's just the start. This is the second part of the problem. I don't need much explanation at this point, because the problem is obvious. I am supposed to have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This makes it effectively a 1-bedroom, bath and a half, because we can't use the shower with a big crack around the shower. It's been that way for months. This apartment has always had plumbing problems. That's because it's an older construction. I understand that. But this is the doing of the current management. This is in response to the fact that sewage keeps backing up in the tub. Have they fixed it? Again, I have not used this shower, but you see the filth in the bottom of the tub. That is from the sewage backing up in our tub again. And they refuse to fix the wall. And the problem persists. More on why later. This is the ceiling in the secondary bathroom. What you are seeing is the results of a leak from upstairs. The previous management knew about it. The leak got stopped, but this never got fixed. The current management knows about it. It's pretty nasty, and not the healthiest way to have to live. But they refuse to fix it. But that's not all, folks. This is the closet. And as you can see, those are mold spots. Something in this wall is leaking. This ceiling, I should say. I'll get to the wall in just a second. But something in the ceiling is leaking, and it's growing mold. I had to put something over my clothes so that they would not be ruined. This wall, right here, every once in a while you can hear water dripping inside of it because there's something leaking inside of it. If you look up there, you can see a line of water damage, mold. Again, not healthy. And still, they refuse to fix it. And I'll explain why. But I want to be reasonable. I do. I want to be reasonable. Apartment living, sometimes there's noisy neighbors. Sometimes there's a few problems. The occasional insect. That's apartment living. But I shouldn't have to live like this. And they refuse to do the repairs. And I will explain why. I was told by Triple Crown that they were not doing any more repairs at this time because of the pandemic. Okay, reasonably, I understand this. Especially if it was a huge repair that needed to be done. A crew, hours, maybe days. That's not the situation. The repairs that need to be done, even on a temporary basis, could have been done by someone, one person, in a few hours at most. And we could have been out of the apartment at the time. But okay. There is a pandemic. So let's take it that that is absolutely the way it is. That does not explain this. This is an email that I got from Triple Crown at Tates Creek. And please notice this line. Moving forward, we will not be accepting partial payments. All payments made that do not cover the total balance will not be accepted. Okay. So they're saying it's a pandemic. They can't do repairs. They can still renovate apartments. They've got crews working doing that. But they can't do the repairs. But at the same time, it's a pandemic. The economy's not great, and they're not accepting partial payments. Why would they do that? Well, I'm sure that there is some legal protective reason that they would mention about not taking the payments, because then people could say, well, I paid the rent, or I tried to pay the rent, and it's all still on record. But they can't evict people, can they? There's protections in place, yes, for the moment. But how long will those last? I don't know. This could lay the groundwork, because if people are not paying their rent, that's a reason to be evicted. So when those protections disappear, they have the basis for an eviction. Putting that on their rental record that they haven't paid the rent would make it more difficult for them, the person, that is, to find a place to live. This can also affect their credit rating, which could also make it difficult for them to find a decent place to live. When I signed my current lease, I only signed a 6-month lease because I wanted to leave. They weren't doing any repairs. Now, they promised and had paperwork promising, and the lease was worded in such a way saying that my rent would not go up, even though they were going to charge for utilities, water, sewage, trash, which had always been a part of my rent as long as I had lived here, but they were going to do it differently. Again, they promised that my rent would not go up. My base rent would be reduced to make allowances for the amount that they had figured would be for the utilities. So my rent would stay the same. 6-month lease, and I'm happy to say that that lease is up this month, and my wife and I are moving out of here. But let's look. These are my payments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's when my lease started. And let's look, shall we? $780. That's what I was paying. Plus electricity, of course, but $780 base rent. So the first month of my lease, I paid $780. The second month, I paid $792. Bit of a paperwork snafu, so we'll just go past that. Third month, $833.33. Fourth month, $811.75. Fifth month, $836.77. And the last month, $823.78. They lied. And I will say that again. They lied. All of the negative things that I have read about Monument Realty when they take over either owning or managing a property, I have seen for myself. It's true. They raise prices. They make promises and do not keep them. They cheat. And I have seen it for myself, and I have the evidence. You've seen the repairs that are not being done. Mold in the house. Now, again, to be fair, I got an email from them a few months back saying that if people had problem paying their rent, they could do some work for Triple Crown. But there wasn't any information about how much work was available, how long a person could work, or even how much they would make. With the problems in my apartment, before we signed our lease, I asked if we could move to another apartment across the hallway. That way it would be real easy for us to move, wouldn't be any expense, and we could rent there. They said, oh, yes, they could do that, but that's a renovated apartment, so the rent is going to be, I think they said $925 a month plus utilities. We can't afford that. And I told them that. They didn't care. It was, well, you pay the rent or you can't have it. That was the basic. That's not exactly how they said it to me, but that's the basics of what they said. I will say it again. They lied. They cannot be trusted. They will tell you one thing, they will word documents in a way that it sounds like exactly what they promised, and then they will not do it. And they will interpret it a different way, so that it's still legal, they can do it. Don't rent from them. That's my message. Do not rent at Triple Crown. Be careful renting anywhere from Monument Realty. The negative stuff you see online, I've seen it for myself. It's true. Finally, you could easily say, well, this guy's just disgruntled. He's just upset because of certain bad things. Maybe his is a unique experience. And, he's just venting his frustration. It would be easy to conclude that. But I'm not alone. This is the Better Business Bureau website. I have looked up Monument Real Estate Services, LLC. And this is why. Their rating on this site is B+. This business is not BBB accredited. 6 years in business. B+. Their customer rating is 2.85 out of 5. Not great. And here's why. 42 complaints closed in the last 3 years. 11 complaints closed in the last 12 months. Now, this does not reflect my complaint, which I am going to file. But it does show that a lot of people have the same problems. All these complaints filed I'm not alone. Look up Monument Realty. Look up Triple Crown at Tates Creek. Look up the properties where Monument Realty has taken over, either managing or owned. You will see people complaining about the same things that I am complaining about. And yes, I just admitted I'm complaining, but I have a basis to complain. They cannot be trusted. They are not accredited by the Better Business Bureau. All the complaints against them. And yes, they have worked, the main company works to close those complaints. But that doesn't mean that they're actually doing any better initially. They're just trying to make themselves look better after the fact, when a lot of these complaints could have been prevented had they just done a better job or kept their word. So that is the point of this entire video. That's all of it. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope it helps someone. I hope it helps someone, prevents them from going through all of that I have had to go through dealing with this company. And hopefully it will be of benefit.